Hello, hi everyone. This is Audrey Darby from Match Me with an Agent, and I'm here today with Yale and Laurie Hauptman of Hauptman Hauptman Attorneys. We are in Livingston, New Jersey, and they're beautiful offices here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And they have been licensed attorneys for 30 years. For 25 years, they have been specializing in elder care law, estate law, and special needs law. So tell me a little bit about what the senior care professionals out there should know about elder law.
People are living longer, and the issue though sometimes is they're outliving their life. And we can keep people alive longer, and so when they have care needs, again, everybody, when you see the brochures that come for retirement, you see the golf courses.
Looks wonderful.
Yes, you see, the boat and all that. And they don't show you an assisted living. They don't show you an aid in the house. And the idea though is that those have costs associated with them. And people don't necessarily understand that if your income, and the income that we speak about, like Social Security or pension, doesn't cover that cost, you're going to start tapping into your assets. And eventually you could deplete your entire estate very quickly.
Right.
So that's really.
So to get back to your more direct answer to your question, what senior advisors should be looking out for is really recognizing that while they may be dealing with some of their clients may already start to need some assistance, others may not. They may be healthy, active seniors, but recognizing that if we all live longer, we don't necessarily live healthy the entire extended period of our lifetimes, and recognizing that it's always best to get ahead of the curve and to recognize and talk to folks that, you know what, we really ought to take a look. What happens if you have this type of expense? Are you prepared for it? Do you have long-term care insurance? Even if you do not, then absolutely you need to address it. Even if you do, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have enough coverage for that type of a cost. It may be part of the answer to how you pay for it, but not the entire answer. And not recognizing that we don't know everything about the people that the clients that we're working with. Just to give you kind of a general idea, we see as everybody's living longer, seniors are living longer, but also we see a lot of families, a lot of parents who have adult disabled children who are also living longer. And so when you recognize there's one pot of money that is designed
to take care of several possible family members, it really,
so
that's where the special needs planning comes into play.
Exactly. So, it's not something that the senior advisors, it's not really their area of expertise, but if they recognize in a general sense that is something that folks really need to address, to have some generalized knowledge and suggest that they consult with an elder care attorney and really gain a great service.
And that's one of the things that at Match Me with an Agent, we always want to put tools in people's toolbox. And something like that is, at the end of the day, the best customer care is finding solutions and asking a lot of questions. I know that you do that for a living.
We do, and one of the reasons why we take barriers down is that we offer consultations at no charge, because people have questions and we like to be able to explain what we can do, and we problem solve too. That's really what we say. And Yale uses that expression about tool bells also. We have certain tools in the legal profession that we can use. And I also think that sort of my initiative at this point is that many people don't know what an elder law attorney does, elder care attorney does. And I say then, the people that are in the industry, if they can be proactive about saying, when they're having a discussion about selling their home or moving into a facility, or dealing with possibly purchasing a long-term care insurance policy, do they have questions? Are they concerned? Do they want to know how to pay for it? And if they are, then I want the senior care people to be saying, go talk to somebody. Because they don't know to say, do you have a name of an elder care attorney? Because they don't even know what we do. So I say that my new initiative is just to explain to people, if someone looks overwhelmed,
It's time to call.
And tell them that there's a resource out there, and we're a resource for both, providers in the industry and for their families.
And when you're talking about the elder population, beloved seniors, as I like to call them, they have needs that are beyond just the clients that you typically work with. And the chain of professionals really has got to involve an elder care attorney. I just think that's the best
Yeah.
recommendation that realtors who are listening or senior care professionals can direct people to, because we're not attorneys and we're literally not allowed to give that advice. But there are others that can say, why don't you speak with an elder care attorney? And that's important for them to know.
Well, I think that at this point, I always analogize that if you had something medically wrong with you, if you had a headache and you were dizzy or you were fainting, you wouldn't go to a podiatrist. So the interesting part is that not only, we're trying to emphasize that this is the time to seek a specific type of attorney. And many attorneys may have powers of attorney, for example, on their computers, but they don't know how to use them. They will not have clauses in there that are geared towards our seniors or long-term care protection goals. And so that's why at this time, we try to encourage everyone that when they do say see an attorney, the next sort of emphasis would be to make sure you actually see a specific attorney, because your divorce attorney, your real estate attorney, they're all great and they serve a purpose, but they're not necessarily going to be able to achieve the goals that we are. And so that's important also, because we get that where people say, and they'll say, okay, I'll go talk to my attorney, but the attorney doesn't have that.
It's not quite right.
It's not quite right.
Right. And that attorney would encourage them to find a specialist anyhow. You would imagine.
I would hope,
Right.
and
Right.
often do.
Yeah.
But I do think that people have relationships with attorneys.
Yes, they do.
And I do think that, again, it serves a purpose at the time when you went to see them, but now you have a different goal.
Right. So one more thing that I'd like to speak with Yale and Laurie about is Yale and Laurie, they've put together 2 books and they are great. They're kind of fun. I love the titles. Here's the first one, which is like, so is that your son?
That's our son.
Oh,
my
son,
gosh. It says, be nice to me. I pick your nursing home. So little cheeky, little fun, but I love the spirit of that because it's reality. It's families, just, a little dark humor sometimes goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, but this book is, it's a collection of all the blogs and some areas that you've run into, or many of them.
And over the years, it's probably about 10 years now, I have written articles that appear on our website, on our blog, which is on our website. And a lot of those tend to be stories.
And they're short. They're short.
Yeah.
They're short little vignettes that really illustrate what we call horror stories of things that people did that they didn't really, that they made mistakes and other situations where we were able to fix it sometimes and sometimes not, but here's what went wrong and here's what we don't want to do, those kinds of things.
Changes in the law, sometimes that's something that comes out.
Right. And we put it together in basically compiled all those articles into a book.
Remember them. So the other book that is here is Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home. If you could tell us a little bit about how that one.
Sure. So that one was a book that Laurie and I co-wrote with Don Fonte, who's an insurance and financial planner in St. Louis. And so it's also, we wrote a couple of chapters on long-term care, and in that book are also some of the newer insurance options.
So when we talk about approaching an elder care attorney, you want someone with experience. Now, New Jersey is lucky to have Hauptman Hauptman, and I'm going to include their contact information on this webinar. That's stated. Yale, I understand that when they're outside of New Jersey, is there a resource, or there's an association, if they're in Indiana, they can call this and that'll direct them to it?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
And the website is naela.org. And if you go there, you can search your state and you can search for
Great.
And then, so anyone in New Jersey, of course, we are always able to, help. They can call for a consultation.
Wonderful.
It's a free consultation. The process is that they call our office. They can speak to our intake coordinator and paralegal, who takes down some preliminary information, and then set up a call with us. And again, all at no charge.
And that is fantastic. I think we'll end it there. And I guess what my takeaway from all of this is if you're in front of a family that has an elderly loved one, ask questions. All the professionals out there, ask questions, draw out situations, solve problems, and one of the biggest things that they can do is find a qualified elder law attorney like yourselves. I'm going to attach your information to this newsletter, but I'm also going to put that website that you referred to, Yale. And I thank you both so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having
This
us.
is great information, and I hope that everyone out there benefited from your experience and your knowledge. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.